Thank you.
Clear throat. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am the Bardic Knock, and I am your game master for today. We are going to be playing some more Digimon Digital Adventures, Digital/Crash. This is session 6. That's what I wrote down. I think that's correct. If it's
I
not,
think
I
so,
will.
yeah.
The thing underneath this on the YouTube will say a different number, but I think it's 6 because yes. I will give a recap of what has occurred after I let the lovely voices say words, usually words to do with identifying themselves. Sometimes other words, but primarily the identification. That's. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Someone, take it away.
Such as a tired bye.
In this essay, I shall say why a lot of the characters in Fire Emblem Three Houses is hot. Number 1. I'm just joking. I don't actually have an essay on that.
Yet.
Yet.
You need a reason to write that essay.
Do I really need a reason? Aside from I can do anything?
That is
Maybe an
reason.
introduction to who
Sorry.
you are.
Yes, that's important.
Hello. I am a tired bye. I am especially tired today. So forgive me for tiredness and also staring off into space. I am playing as Rukia Nakamura. That's her last name. I was about to say Rukia Kuchiki. That's not my
Kuchiki, Rukia. You're right.
And also her Digimon partner, the newly evolved Dragomon, who is now Singloopmon, little giant wolf. Other things. Tomorrow's Thursday. You'll see me over on Undercase channel for Curse of Strahd, where I play as Atari.
That's tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm not prepared. I need to do interrogation stuff. I'll also be sneaky about it. Hopefully I'm awake more for that. Otherwise, Atari's just gonna be fumbling about. And then, this
How dare you
Sunday,
call out my DM style.
our fumbling will cancel out and we'll make the best scene ever on Twitch. Yeah. And on this Sunday, I'm back here with Bardic and other friends for Final Fantasy D6 Rebels of Spyra. I forget what we were doing. We were going to investigate ruins after somebody came back with, basically they were really beaten up.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, not dead, but also something's happened. Yeah. That's it.
Is that everything? Do we move on to the next person?
Yeah. I don't have anything clever to say.
Who needs to say clever things when you can just say other things?
What am
Others.
clever?
LD is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Bye, Gold! Yeah.
Bye.
Alright, Kay.
Hi, I'm Kay, aka Undead K. You can find me on the internet on Twitter, which is backwards at K_undead, where I post mostly things that I'm doing on the internet. Sometimes I'm like politics, but yeah, anyway. It's a place where you can find me. I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I'm doing with my Twitter channel. Streaming has just not been a thing because personal stuff going on, but that's okay. It'll get sorted and it'll get back to getting good. And yeah, so definitely check that out. I'll put announcements on my Twitter, blah 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 blah. And yeah, tomorrow, that is a consistent stream. Wow, I forgot my Curse of Strahd, Barovian Days. That's the name of the campaign. I swear I have a brain in my head. We're doing that tomorrow, and I totally have to prepare things because I think I've scared the players away from the mill.
Yeah. Especially because we'll be down a player, and so people are like, well, shit. We're down a person.
Even before then, I know of at least 2 players who were like, "We need to go. We need to go."
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zatari is just like, let me hear your secrets.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely tune in to figure it out because we always do a summary at the beginning of our streams. So yeah, that's me.
And next up, we have Michael. Michael, who are you?
Hello there, I'm Mike Wayne. You can find me both on Twitter and Twitch. You give me a clip, I'll give you a chip. I will be playing Billy Bliss, who might be doing a sword duel today, and Aberantmon has evolved to Desperamon and looks to actually want to interrogate. I think it's Logan John or
Larry Joe.
Larry Joe, yeah, on what they're doing. So it'll be interesting contrast between sword duel and interrogation with those two. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm pulling for you.
And then finally, we have Vin. Vin, who are you?
Saving the best for last. Okay, my name is Kat. I'm at Vindiflee on various things on the internet. I stream myself Mondays and Tuesdays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on my own channel at Vindiflee. I am playing Katarina, who goes by Kat, and her Digimon is named Kitty, so they're Cat and Kitty, and it's great. And she currently has iffy use of her left hand. And
Oh yeah, I
that's
forgot.
fun.
Take a
I
long
forgot.
rest, it'll be fine.
I forgot. Rukia is just bedridden right now because Skewer the last episode.
Okay. So, briefest of brief recaps. This is where I'm torn, right? Because on one hand, I can just be super vague and no one will have any clue what is going on, but it'll be hilarious. Or I actually say what happened.
Please say what actually happened because I'm semi-torn on what happened last session and what happened before the last session.
Alright, so what happened the previous 2 sessions, because they were kind of like deeply connected to one another. The party went to go investigate where the deforestation was happening on behalf of Cherrymon, aka Tree Grandpa. And you got there, you found a lumberjack cowboy who...
Larry Joe!
Yeah, Larry Joe. Who was clearly meant to be some kind of antagonist, as he was there in his giant construction equipment Digimon known as Kenkimon. And you began talking to him, and it looked like he was about to... Well, you weren't supposed to be in this area. An error had occurred. He got on the phone to corporate, and corporate were like, alright, get rid of them. And Larry Joe's like, okay, well, I guess I gotta do the job. And just as that was about to happen, Billy did arguably what was both a very intelligent move and also a not intelligent move. As he...
You said terminate! You say terminate, you're gonna get the stick!
Well, that's what I say. It was
Really
very
paranoid.
reasonable, but also not. Because as Billy chucked his makeshift spear, Cat kind of stood in the way and went all Jesus mode. Spear into the hand, and it just had it caused a deep awakening in Larry Joe, where he, evolved from minor antagonist to supporting cast. Because he was like,
Larry
nah.
Joe faced his trauma.
Yeah.
There was like some sort of flashback to like his family, his little kid, Larry Joe
Called
Jr.
up corporate and was like, if hurting kids is in my job description, I quit, and then hung up on them. It
Yeah.
was great.
So
Yeah, that's great.
when Larry Joe quit, something happened, and the Digimon around who were the construction workers kind of went a bit like, argh. and they started to attack. Things looked pretty bad as Billy got punched into a tree. Impmon nearly got taken out in one shot. Rukia got stabbed, like just a giant shadow claw through the stomach. Things were not looking good.
Time.
Yeah, things were not looking good for everyone. Yeah, Cat had like a pretty intense panic attack. But then, plot convenience and anime laws came into play, and everyone got stronger. And because of getting stronger, we had a wonderful transformation sequence. And then some amazing upbeat anime music, probably the opening theme, started playing in the background as the tides turned, dominated. We got the win. Like, yeah! And
Piano started playing, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Not sure why though.
I mean,
Because
sadly,
the digicode light came upon us.
yeah. Sadly, the victories were somewhat short-lived, as in the background, a giant, kind of scary Digimon, which is basically, it's called Entmon, but a full description of what Entmon is/was is a basically like it is a giant dragon made up of decaying foliage and wood that is inhabited and moved and controlled by swarms of insects.
It's a tree mech controlled by or piloted by bugs.
Yeah, and that kind of destroyed Kankymon, and in the process, Larry Joe fell from a great height, and it is not doing so great. But then, big brain Katarina used computer skills to delete, just delete Entmon, and so you're all safe. You are currently in the Megami fortress / deforestation headquarters. I don't know what this place doesn't really have a name. It was
Bad.
I think, didn't we end with everybody kind of doing their own thing?
yeah.
That
So
is still like very much doing whatchamabrain? Computer shenanigans.
so
Kitty is helping, but also giving pets to the floofy dog.
I'm teaching Wizardmon how to cook.
so
Rickmon, as Singlipmon, has adapted very quickly to Doggo.
I mean,
Doggo Brain.
okay, yeah. I was actually just going to ask what you all doing, but you've actually kind of taken it. So I think let's pick up with Katarina and
Oh boy.
Kitty, because that's probably got the juiciest bit of information. So let's start with the juiciest. You were doing computer stuff.
I was doing computer.
You had essentially hacked into some of Megami's files, and what you discovered is they are keeping tabs on everyone, and you got into
Unsurprising, but also upsetting.
Yeah. You also discovered that basically they were like measuring vitals and keeping a tracker on things, and those definitely like biological readings. Is it basically you uncovered that you are not in a virtual reality. This isn't like you aren't just sat in a chair having a fun time. Like, no, your entire essence has been digitized. Your body that you are in, that is your human body, just converted into digital code. This is real, and you are here.
Yep.
That is what you uncovered. What would you like to do with this information?
Oh, I'm not done doing hacker shenanigans.
Oh yeah, well, forgive me for assuming. What other hacking shenanigans? What do you
I
what do
sent
you
you
want to
a
find
couple
out?
of messages real quick, but I can say them out loud.
Yeah, because I can't really.
Reminder that she's not saying any of this right yet.
Yeah.
She's in mode, so none of the other players know this.
Mm-hmm.
Reminder. Okay. Let's see, where was it? Yes. So I looked at, so they do have files. Cool. And then I asked if Larry Joe had a file and if I could find Kankimon's data.
Okay, so yes, if because you found where they've got the beta testers. I don't know if they call them something else, but we'll just say beta testers, and you can find that. You then also find another set of stuff, information, basically where they're tracking vitals and keeping tabs on like all other resident players, occupants. That's probably the correct word of the digital world. And you see employees, and you definitely find Larry Joe, and you do immediately notice that like they're all kind of color coded, and Larry Joe has like his name has been converted to red, as if to say, all right, he has been separated out from the other employees for a reason. If you are specifically trying to find like his partner Digimon,
Yes. I'm trying to use his data to see if I can use that if there's like there's a word for that, like related, if it's like in the same directory, if they're like have their partner Digimon linked in their files somewhere.
Okay. So, if we're actually going to like dive in, because so far you've only really been looking at the humans. So if you like crack open...
Oh, I'm going full. I'm going in.
Yeah, let's crack open Larry Joe's file. You get that, and it has a whole bunch of information. You know, age, date of birth, weight, hometown, social security number. You know, Megami Corp, employee number. Hang on.
You got a bot.
Yeah,
Kick the bot.
I'm going. You. Be gone, bot.
Said bigfollows.com.
Bigfollows.com.
A thought bot.
While you're hacking in on Larry Joe's file.
Yes, thank you, Michael. So you've cracked open that. There's always information, and then once again, there's a few discrepancies. First of all, like you notice his employee number that has been scrubbed. Like they are very efficient at removing people from their databases. You then do come across stuff specifically to do with the digital world, and it has a mention of like his digital partner, and that is currently marked as NA, as in like it doesn't have information for that currently. It's marked as like that file is corrupted, and is currently you can see there's like a little hourglass doing a little rotation thing. It seems like the system is trying to figure out what's happened there.
Alright, I would like to try and help the system uncorrupt the files, if I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to repair the code.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Alright.
That is a thing.
How do you repair the code? Because I know that's like an actual mechanic.
It is. I don't know. I just have a +12 bonus to repairing or deciphering code from... Oh wait, no, that's not right. That's the rookie form. Champion, +20 bonus to repairing and deciphering code.
Wow.
And then I have a 6 in computers.
Okay, go for it. So roll with a +26.
Just to add a little flavor of it, it may mean that the Digimon understands that much of the digital code, the written language, much as like on Wizardsmon's actual cloak.
I have no idea what you're trying to say, because my brain is just like, oh, so I can just ask the Digimon how to translate from English to computer language.
Yeah, basically, like the digital code
Basically.
is kind of like the MacGuffin. It's the language of the Digimon. You know, if you come across like some ancient ruins, it'll have the digital code written on it. But it is also the same stuff that makes up the trees and the walls and the floors. It kind of is just everything. So.
But the difference is lore-wise, those that are on
35.
35. Well, considering a nearly impossible task is a 22, you bring up the control prompt and you type in /find or /locate, and you do all the computery stuff that you just get, and you find where the corruption is, and basically what you uncover is because of the firewall that they sent, Entmon. Basically, it has to do with how Kenkimon was attacked. And researching it, any of these Digimon that they have marked as Firewall, they they don't just do what happens to regular Digimon. So, like for example, when you beat up Kuwagamon, what happened to Aizmon, and stuff like that. Normally, when a Digimon is defeated, when their code is damaged, it is just converted back to code, and that code reforms itself in the form of Digitama or an egg, and it just starts again. Everything in the digital world is very much recycle, reincarnate. However, these firewalls, they do not play into that. They instead just delete. However, because you interrupted that, the deletion was not complete. So there is a partial file remaining of Kenkimon. It is very heavily damaged, but with that 36 you rolled, you can, it won't be exactly the same, but you are smart enough and capable enough that you can rewrite Kenkimon's code. Obviously he won't come back as a Kenkimon, he's going to come back as a Digitama, and we'll have to start from baby form. But you can rewrite it, and you can just make it come back.
Awesome.
And just bring him back to life.
I will do
Like
that. I will rewrite him.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you would like to add into that? Because you can basically play God here.
Add into his data?
Yeah.
Do you want to just play God?
Not much. I just maybe a little more capacity if he doesn't have the capacity already, like a capacity for healing, because that's a useful thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not really.
May I make a suggestion? Of maybe that you allow for kind of Larry Joe to still have some authorization, even if it's low level, so that way they can, both their Digimon and Larry Joe can still continue to be helpful to you.
Sir, they are helpful just by existing.
Plus,
Also,
that is
I
sort of getting into
I
a
have,
weird situation of
I have a lot of stuff planned out for what I want to do in terms of code shenanigans, so if it's okay with everyone else, I wouldn't mind if I just, send a bunch of text at Bardic, and then the rest of you can do roleplay shenanigans around me as I'm basically in a trance.
I mean, the Cat is basically the the plot pusher right now, because Cat can do, everything. So, if you want to message me questions and things, I will try, because unfortunately I can't look at it on my computer, so I'll have to get my phone out and see what's going on. But
That's fine.
I will deal with that while we go and see what other people are doing, roleplay wise. But so first big thing, you do rewrite Kenkimon's code, you make it come back. So the first thing that will happen, that you will actively see this happening, as in it is in the room around you and people notice it. Larry Joe, who is sat up in bed, still not looking particularly great, as he's sat there, kind of rubbing his head, wiping his eyes. He's very upset. He is quite clearly in pain. And as he is sat there, you see a white light form in his lap, and then an egg appears. Just like an egg, kind of about the size of an ostrich egg, if not a little bit bigger. It is white, and let's say it has got some pink spots on it.
It's tiny construction hats.
Oh
no.
Upon seeing this, Mia will kind of look up from, I guess, the kitchenette area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you order takeout?
No. Kitty's just gonna go. Kitty is gonna climb on top of Cat's head to just try and make sure that he's got a good vantage point. And he's like, it worked. It worked. Yes.
Arctic?
What?
Is there any spare blankets anywhere? around the room?
Yeah, probably.
I'm thinking like Sanglutmon looks over at the egg, runs over to get a blanket in his mouth, and then rushes over to Larry Joe like, "Here, grab it in blanket, keep it warm. Needs warmth."
Larry Joe looks to Sanglutmon and pats, like gives one solid like not like pat, but just like pat on Sanglutmon's head and goes, "Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Honestly, I'm just astounded. This is, I saw that is definitely some things I gotta process, but this means an awful lot to me. So, little girl, I don't remember we ever exchanged names. I think we did, but my memory is a little hazy on account of falling about 20-something feet from the air.
Unfraude von Fashion.
But,
That's Sanglutmon, by the way.
Yeah.
He has blankets still in mouth.
But thank you very much. And if there's anything at all I can do to be of help, not just to any of y'all's, all of y'all's, to help me out here, and especially for making sure my partner wasn't gone forever, because that would have made me feel awful sore. Not in the way that my entire body does right now, like an awful soreness in my heart, which will think that hurt a lot more.
Kitty goes. Kitty's like, let us know. I think they should be all right, but like we had to reconstruct large chunks of code. So like, if something is wrong, please let us know. If we can fix it, we will try.
I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I'll keep you up to date. It's almost like you're his little doctor. It's like y'all.
Yeah, we're code doctors.
That sounds like
Cat has not responded. Cat is still click, 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 click.
Desperamon says very glaring answers.
Okay.
Answers.
I can give as many answers as you have questions for. What questions do you have there? Well, not so little, buddy.
Why have you been destroying the digital world?
Honestly, because I was told to, and I was being paid, and I have a mortgage to pay and a family to look after. Quite frankly, I was under the impression that none of this actually existed, was really just some computer data in a video game. But it is quite clear that that is not the case. So I apologize. I was awfully wrong. And now I will give my mind, body, soul, and heart to helping all of y'all, Digimons, protect yourselves from the evils of corporate capitalism.
Who do we strike next?
Kitty goes, that's violent. Maybe not strike. Maybe just talk to.
I mean, both are very reasonable, valid options. I think it'll kind of depend on what happens when we get there, but I suppose we need to go find our way up to headquarters. Megami, they've set up, I don't know what they call it, I ain't so good with computer words and such, I tend to call them thingamabobs and what's it's. I know how they work, but I ain't good with names. There's definitely like what do they call it? They called it a login.
Like a command center?
That's exactly what they called it. A command center. Thank you very much, little lady. They've got a command center up at the top of Mount Infinity there, because apparently it gets them a good scope of the whole area. It kind of makes sense, a big central place. Yeah. So might have to. I don't really know how we get on up there, but if that's where you want to find people to get more answers, or to strike out at the people and such, That'll be the best place to go about it, I reckon.
Where's the next outpost?
Bill?
Well, if I could make a suggestion, maybe going against an entire corporation inside of a digital world or whatever this is, by ourselves might not be. Should we try to find some of the other players and let them know what's going on?
Sleepy Rukia just wakes up very suddenly. It's just like, eat the rich! Then goes back to sleep.
Yes, eat the rich.
I love her.
I'd
Like,
imagine they probably don't
Desperamon
taste
is-
very good.
Yeah, like Desperamon is very much the very like teen, like very serious, and does not understand. It's just trying to be very tough and try to do things, and does not know how to properly react to things. It's just very over the top, angry teen. That's why their voice is serious, because they need to denote they're being very serious.
Close tries.
Okay, so Desharon, you asked where the next outpost is. Larry Joe kind of looks and says, well, there's well, hang on now. Let me adjust. You know what? For plot convenience, Larry Joe kind of reaches down to his legs, where he's got like a little workout on. Grabs something, pulls it up. He's got like a little cube, and he clicks a button in the cube, and it is gonna just flash up, one of those big 3D style holographic maps of the digital world. And he gets out a little laser pointer and points to one section of it, and that section kind of like lifts up and like zooms in. He goes, "See, this is where we are, right? Yeah." And this area was designated as the Green Glens. As you can see, there is let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other designated zones. Each one of them will have some form of outpost, and they'll have like various members of Magamakov get on with bits and bobs and this, that, and other. Some will have more ongoing maintenance than others. For example, we were here in Green Glens. We were still undergoing quite a lot of maintenance. Thus, we were actively taking stuff out and dealing with things. Others, there's not quite so much active going on. So it kind of vary place to place. But yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There'll be 6 other outposts, one in each region, or just head up to Mount Infinity and head straight to the boss, or the big boss, Zuz. Because it's a corporation, it's not really one person. That'd be a very flawed system to have a multi-trillion mega buck company where there's literally just one person in charge. It's probably a board, and then that board is made up of several other boards, and then that board is made up of a conglomerate of multiple other boards, and then that is hosted by a chairperson, and then that is overseen by a group of governors, and it's all very complicated, and there's lots of fingers and pies, and no one really knows who's in charge, and yeah, that's how it makes most people feel. It's almost as if the system is inherently evil.
Singletmon is just slowly blinking like, that's a lot of boards. Also, who would be the most friendly? Because we could go to the people that are most friendly, talk to them and be like, hey, stop doing what you're doing and maybe give us answers. And then we could stick it to the guys who are less friendly and be like, screw you.
How we are right now, I don't think we're in the position to be just marching up this mountain here and facing off against an entire corporation. That doesn't seem very
Yes,
smart.
especially with Rukia all bedridden and talking about capitalism and sir, what's your name again? I forget.
Larry Joe.
Larry Joe. Okay, Larry Joe. Yeah, Larry Joe is also suffering from possibly back hurting and also head hurting, and head hurting hurts, and not good for climbing. I should know.
Yeah, sorry, I was just replying to Vin, and my brain stopped taking information. So can you repeat what you just said? Because my brain is just woofed.
Basically, Senglupmon was basically going like, we probably shouldn't climb a mountain due to not being in a good state, and also because Rukia, after the hit Rukia got, and also because Larry Joe is basically possibly concussed and also back injury.
Yeah,
which,
Mia's stance is very much so. We're probably not strong enough to go against an entire conglomerate right now
which
by
Senglupmon
ourselves.
referred to as back hurties and head hurties.
All right, yeah. So with that, Larry Joe looking up. Well, you are not incorrect. So as for the other question you made an inquiry about who is the most friendly or the least friendly, I don't really know how y'all measures friendliness.
Who
'Cause-
we will fight least.
Honestly, that is not. I do not have an answer for you because that would require me to have a level of information and more to the point, I suppose, premonition regarding how you would go about approaching a person and what kind of mood they would be in and what circumstances led up to approaching and reaching the confrontation moment. You know, quite frankly, everything is a living, breathing mechanism, so there's literally infinite possibilities. Also,
Yes.
I think the GM hasn't really figured that much out just yet.
What's the GM?
Who is this cursed GM Overlord?
Is that like a tree grandpa?
Kind of. As far as my understanding goes, the GM is the original programmer, and they kind of just, from what I understand, they seem to just be making up a lot as they go along. So sometimes stuff's there, sometimes it's not, and other times it was there, but then it changed to be something entirely different because of, someone just sounded more interested. They're quite fickle, but apparently they have great fucking hair.
They sound like they have amazing hair and a glorious beard. That's how I imagine this sort of omniscient person to persona
Kitty's
to be
just
like.
gonna pop up and gonna be like, yo, Larry Joe, do you know what your employee number is?
Okay. The reason I paused is because immediately my mind was like, I am torn. What terrible reference do I make? Do I make a Les Mis reference? Do I make a Rent reference?
Go with one, because I feel like we're gonna react to it the same regardless.
The answer is yes, which is a good answer.
Yeah, that's
Either way, I got reactions prepared, so.
Okay, you know
Yep.
what? I am gonna roll a dice to decide.
Okay. Desperamon is going to go. It seems as though Sword Sands or the Curse Crags. We defeat the outpost building. We can bring the injured there. And thus go to the next area to weaken the mighty boss at the mountain.
I mean, that sounds, yeah. We could definitely do that. I mean, supposedly, if we make a decision on where we want to go, I can probably figure out what's what and who. I can try and make a few calls, see who's around, because I'm sure. Show your little computer lady over there. I could probably hack on in and find some information. Speaking of, you wanted my employee number? It was 525600.
Rukia just gets up slowly and looks at Larry Joe, gives finger guns, and then goes back to sleep. It's sort of like I get that reference.
Billy goes, hey, isn't there supposed to be a 309s with that?
Really?
525,600 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know why that's
That
in my
was-
brain. It just
8,
is.
6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
Ah!
Jenny, don't change your number. Okay, but like, who
What
wrote
you-
Jenny's number on a bathroom wall? Like, that's what I want to know because that's rude.
What is found by searching up the employee number?
Oh, she's not searching it
Well-
up. She's trying to restore his information. So basically, she's trying. So, I don't know. It was mentioned that like his employee number was like scratched out and whatnot. So she's basically trying to. Hi, Loki. Hi.
Surprise
That
visit
she
from
is
Loki.
trying to.
She's trying to put the employee ID back in and see if that will change his status back to employee, or if they've straight up removed that ID entirely and she'll have to do something else.
Which, I mean, we can. Do you want to find out that now?
Sure.
Okay.
She's also doing the durability shenanigans on his file because she has it open and she's like, might as well.
Yeah. So the first thing that you're messaging about, like, obviously, you are all now data, so you can use your pro hacker skills, because you can now see the measurements of data. So what you can now do, if you so please, Cat, providing you have access to a computer terminal, basically you can get all data you have and you can like upload it onto like your digivices or whatever. So for one, you can do that, and you can now essentially use the digivice as like a scanner. If you just get a bunch of data in there, so you can like view the quantities of data. So for example, you can now scan and check hitboxes and all that information. But you just have that now. And also, whilst you have access to a computer terminal, you can rewrite the code and you can just fix that. So if you were to like swivel around in your little chair, you'd be able to like scan everyone in the room currently, and you'd be able to see, all right, so they're that damage, this has happened to them. You know, all right, diddly-do-do, type, and you just change it. You just fix everyone, because you can mess around with their data.
I can't believe Katarina is now God.
I mean, God, so long as she has a computer terminal.
That's fair.
So basically, she's just full healed everyone. That's what she did.
Yay.
Oh, cool.
Rukia
I would
is-
prefer
No.
the sands. It has a windmill.
She also healed herself, so now her hand is fully functional again.
Saying
So-
Sigma just goes, I don't trust windmills.
So, before I continue on with letting you figure out what else is going on there, Vin, the other thing you learn from doing all this is the one thing you cannot alter and change manually through computer data. You cannot change, the accumulated data. So you basically can't hack in and go, I now have maximum stats. I am now because the code for that. First of all, it is not man-made. That is like a naturally existing code. That'd be the equivalent of stem cell research and rewriting DNA.
Holy shit.
That
Not doing
Yeah.
that is currently physically impossible for a human being to do. So you can't just change your stats.
Basically, you can't break the game that much.
Yeah. You can... I mean, you could manipulate what already exists. So, for example, if you so wished, and, I will allow this from this point on, anytime you have access to a computer terminal, if you so wanted to, you could use that to essentially redo all of your stats for you or any of your party members. So you go, all right, I think I've changed. I don't like playing this way. We're going to play this way instead. But you cannot gain more. You can only reallocate and move around. So if you...
Oh, neat.
So,
Never
for example,
respects the point.
if you wanted to, you could go, I kind of chose this ability, but I'm not really using it, so I'm going to change that out for something else.
Oh.
But you just can't get new stuff on top. You just can't increase. You can change and alter, but you cannot increase. So, there you go.
I hate Theseus! Sorry.
What?
I hate Theseus. But his
It's a
stupid fucking
Hades
shield
reference
and his
as we
stupid
go on to the.
Sorry.
Now, if you want, like I imagine, like all this happens while the bird, samurai, and Billy are outside dueling.
It's completely unrelated. I'm sorry.
Are you doing something else?
I think Hades, because Theseus.
I mean,
I
yeah,
heard
that makes
Theseus,
sense.
so yeah, sounds Hades.
Okay, so
I was in the middle of the Minotaur Theseus battle when we started, and I was like, when I'm not actively thinking, I can try and kill them.
You just learned you can respect any character while you're at a terminal.
Oh no, I know. I'm listening.
yeah, you got it.
Yeah, people have a tendency to multitask when they're doing, like, I'm actually working on animating a picture right now, on the side, so.
Oh yeah,
And I'm totally paying attention.
I know, but I'm trying to keep
always good,
going
like-
back to the game.
I don't know. It's totally fine because like I have a habit of getting distracted as we go. So all right. So before we jump on over to Billy and Samurai Bird, basically, Vin has the powers of God, but within reason. And the rest of you, you've been presented that, all right, so this is what we need to do to move forward. We kind of need to choose where we're going, and then we'll figure out what's what. So that is something to mull over. Meanwhile, Billy and Samurai Bird, you got some wooden sticks that were vaguely shaped like swords, and you have stepped outside. Billy.
Vaguely, it was a 20, so they look like actual sword but wooden.
Oh yeah. See, I don't remember the numbers. Okay. So, I correct that. You got some very good wooden swords. You are outside. You have found a suitable area to start sparking. How far out do you want to go? Do you want to go like fully outside the fort, like to where you just did battle, or do you want to stay inside the walls and just use an area there?
No, I would imagine just in case, because to avoid the fact that this duel might end with like two wooden swords smashed into each other and being destroyed and shrapnel going everywhere. To avoid that, they're doing outside, so the duel is just between them and no one inside can get hurt.
Alright, cool. So you go outside, you go out of the walls, you see Gorillamon, Sandy Ravage and Chunky. They have picked themselves up. They aren't quite as unconscious, but you know. So they picked themselves up from where they'd been knocked out, and they've kind of just slumped over, and they're just sat outside the gate. They clearly have no like nefarious notions. Like they're just sat there and kind of like rubbing their wounds and oh my head hurts, and Chunky goes. So they're better now, and they're back to being delightfully charming in a strange NPC way. So they'll be able to sit there and they'll like spectate your sparring match.
Okay, supposedly your armor, honor, overrid any virus or attack on you, so you may be as honorable as you say. But if you're going to be protecting others, I don't think I can trust your words unless we do in battle. By our swords, will we truly speaks to each other's?
Yes. Truly, a man who understands the way the world works. You get to know a person's soul by confronting them in honorable combat. Now, Uraimon takes his one sword in both hands and holds it in front of him and goes, "Take your stance, warrior Billy."
Now, I imagine this is where like Billy goes for a very wild, well, like strike, and right against them, and kind of like almost like very much like Samurai Shampoo, of
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like very wild, and then just kind of like as they swing by with the sword, they're kind of like almost like moving lots of leg work of just almost into a cartwheel after they've gone into the sword, and then going very wildly
Okay.
at it, just like strike as they're moving around, very chaotic.
Yeah. So in stark contrast, Buiraimon is going to be very static and stoic. So as Billy's like very wild, lots of footwork, lots of maneuverability, Buiraimon is basically going to stand there and just very carefully and deliberately move his sword specifically to block and parry in the right moment. It's kind of a stalemate. Like every time it feels like you're about to get a good hit in, he gets a so for every good hit you get in, he gets in a parry that's just as good. So whilst you're going in for like big hits, he's going in for small counters to everything you're doing. At this moment in time, it's definitely resembling a stalemate. However, you know, one big push from you would give you the clear advantage here. The downside being to put yourself in that would leave yourself open to be counterattacked really hard.
The thing is like I'm thinking right here, because the wild movement has actually allowed for Billy to kind of like move the kind of like dust that's been on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like as they've been moving around, it's been strategically like almost like there's a dust devil that's going around, now taking advantage of this being very chaotic, and they're able to do these slow, stoic movements to allow for kind of like this bit more of that unable to see where Billy's coming from.
Okay.
And when that kind of like gets to that, there would just be an attack of the wooden sword against the wooden sword. There is Billy's foot against their arm at the same time.
Okay, yeah, 100%. That would work because you created this. You basically just created this massive advantage for yourself. So you made Buiraimon think this was going to go one way, and you've been making it go another way. So in doing that, yeah, you've created advantage. You've got the smoke screen, and as you go in for this big hit, you've basically distracted and gone in for the kick as well. So you kick Buiraimon's arm, causing him to actually drop the sword. His response to that is he will look at you in this very anime moment as the swords clash really hard. You kick him in the arm and he drops it, and he'll like turn, glare at you. It's a very intense stare, and then he bends his knees ever so slightly and just. Oh.
May I add to that?
Yeah, please do.
After that, Billy has just kind of like kicked the sword up from the ground, so it doesn't have to, and just kind of like, so it can be brought back up.
Okay, so you're basically like he's dropped the sword, and you're basically like kicking it back up to him, or kicking it in such a way that he could grab it. All right, nice. Okay, as you do that, he smiles like that. That's like no. You're fighting. You are fighting fair, like smart and fair. So, as his knees are bent ever so slightly, he is clearly preparing for something. He hasn't reached to grab the sword. His hands stretch down, and you see his claws, his fingers, kind of like splay a little bit. As almost instantly, he leaps into the air, and in doing so, he actually grips the sword in one of his feet and does that. So he is actually like, and he's got the wings. So as he flaps the wings, the dust disperses as he is above you, and he grips the one sword in both his feet, and he basically poises from above, and he is ready. Like he is preparing to essentially strike down from the sky.
Yeah, and in encounter, like, Billy just has their stick kind of like winded up just like a baseball bat to strike as it comes straight at them.
Okay, so with that, Wiramon just, you know, he understands how aerodynamics work. He is Burb, so he just like straightens himself out and basically turns himself into a spear with one sword at the bottom and comes straight down. As you are you swinging the baseball bat into the sword, or are you purposefully?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it is very purposely of like as a baseball bat to the spear to kind of like both come in, and I feel like this right here is probably the final point where we probably would roll to see who does better.
Yeah. What would you like to roll?
Because again, I feel like either fight or dodge would apply here.
I mean, whichever you are more comfortable with, and we'll just. I mean, I suppose both of you rolling a fight would make most sense.
Okay. And that would be /R 3d6 plus stat.
It is a pool check, so it is a number of d6 equal to your fight stat.
Okay, so that would be 8d6.
Yeah. And Wiramon has 7. And instead of doing the standard counting successes, we will just go on the bigger number here. Because this is not a standard combat. I mean, you won on successes as well, so it doesn't matter. So,
yeah.
What happens?
I imagine it is very much a case where, like, there's the cracking that is loud and heard as Billy strikes with the baseball bat against the spear, and what happens is a majority of the opponents goes off right into the fortress door, making a big clang, as like Billy that has more of the one remaining on their sword just kind of like has it right near their throat. And then at that point, it's just like where it's noticeable that Billy has just won. They just put the sword on the ground and bow.
Yeah, so as you bow, Wiramon, whom you shattered the sword as it was coming down, so Wiramon kind of just hit the ground, stand up, dust himself off, and will return the bow in a very honourable manner. And then Wiramon looking up, you have proved yourself to be a intelligent, ferocious, but most importantly, an honourable one. Now, Wiramon reaches to his belt and actually pulls, like, he takes off one of his sheathed swords and he hands you one of his katanas. He goes, I bequeath unto you one of these blades. May you use it well on your mission, Billy.
Billy kind of like tucks it into kind of like their belt. If used with honors means as well after we're done here at the fortress, I think there's a place in the forest where there's a tree to protect. I think they'll need an honorable person like you to make sure no one can threaten Cherrymon or anyone there.
I know of this Cherrymon. Was once a resident of this forest. He was a good protector. Perhaps we shall find an arrangement where Cherrymon reside here in this fortress, or we will figure something that works best for everyone.
Yes. Again, like, it's just they already have a tree. It's like you're gonna have a whole lot of moving lots of people out into a fortress versus you going into by yourself. Just logistics. I think it'd be easier if just you go over to them and help them protect. Because I know there's a good Wormmon that you probably could help develop their skills that one day they might become a wise Stingmon.
Perhaps I should go and do this now, unless you feel you have further need of me. Perhaps I should also... Well, what should we do with those two? He says as he points over to Gorillamon and, Sandy Ravage and Chunky, who they're sat there just, like, clapping. They're clapping at what they've seen. And so they're clapping. Chunky's clapping. Sandy Ravage has kind of got, like, finger in his ear going, "Whoa," having no clue what just happened. Sandy Ravage is not the smartest. He's not the sharpest crayon in the coloring box.
He's not the smartest.
I think they might be good just protecting this place, and we send wounded here, and those that can fight to the tree.
This definitely sounds like a very smart maneuver. Yes, we shall leave these two here. They make wonderful guards. I shall head and I will begin training these friends and companions.
Yeah, I agree with you, but again, I'm the muscle, not the brains. So we might actually need to talk to. The brains might need you for one thing before you go to the tree. So.
Yes, that is also. I shall delay my departure until I make sure that nobody else wishes to speak to me or has need of my services in the region. Yes.
And Billy gives him finger guns.
Buiramon kind of like pauses, has no idea what just happened, and then kind of lifts hand up and does like a single finger gun back and goes, "Yes."
Don't worry. That's how you knows you're true, honorable, because you shoots right. That's why the finger guns shoot right. Good man. Good smons is what she is.
But what if I shoot left?
It's more on right as in and it being the right thing rather than the right direction.
I don't understand.
Right
this.
as in correct, not right in the direction. I'm sorry if I'm doing too much for you. I apologize.
No, this makes sense. It seems we've come across a play on words as such. Of hubris.
Yeah. It's a lot less hurting than a big pat in the back, I've found.
Ah, yes. Smart thinking. Good. Yes.
Yes.
I will wait out here, I suppose, until anybody else leaves. Unless you want me to come inside, I don't do it.
I feel the same, but let's just go in and let the brains say what they need to do, and then I feel like, because again, we all have our different purposes.
Okay.
Different talents.
We'll do that. I will go inside. After you, Billy.
And Billy opens the door. Or just like very gentleman-like, after you!
Oh no.
Oh no.
And Buiramon said, no, after you, sir.
After you!
Oh,
And then there's back and forth.
From inside, you just hear, "Food's ready."
Oh, food! And I guess both of them just run in.
Yeah, figure that'll get the thing moving.
Yeah.
I was so about to have Rukia just scream out, "Stop being like my mothers!"
Alrighty, so, Kay has already decided what you come into. Kay, what food has Miyahara made? What is the food?
Alright. A couple of y'all already know what's going on here. So, made spaghetti and meatballs, and Mia's like serving it all up, and like Wizardmon's like preparing, like he finished doing the last touches on garlic bread, putting the little of seasoning. I wish you could see me because I did the salt throw sprinkle thing. Yeah.
Oh no.
And Mia's just gonna be like, while she's serving it up, she's gonna be like, for some reason, Wizardmon wanted to roll this up like sushi, but I insisted no. That just sounds really gross and really wrong. But here you go.
Rukia's just like, well, I mean, I've heard of spaghetti is fine on its own, sushi is fine on its own. I feel like if someone ever tried to combine the two, they might be the devil.
My
Billy-
sentiments exactly.
Billy has a single tear out their eye, before they going, Ichinamas, and just digging in.
I'm sorry, what?
Ichinamas.
Itadakimasu?
Yeah, but again, Billy can't say it right, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Ichinamas.
Oh. He just like butchers it.
Yes.
I don't like that at all.
Rukia shivers. Sanglutmon shivers. They both give each other a look before they both go to eat their respective meals.
So,
Mia's just kind of leaning over to Wizardmon. Should we tell him? Should we tell him? Wizardmon, I don't know. That might burst his bubble.
Sanglutmon just goes over and is like, if y'all don't tell him, I'll tell him.
Sure, have fun. Wave.
You notice Despermon being very big, and it looks like very oversized for any chair or anything. Sits down and goes, Ichinamas, before eating as well.
oh god, he's copying.
Oh no.
Kitty just like twitches. Is like,
Stop.
Yeah,
Billy
Mia
has
has like the slight eye twitch out of the corner of her eye while she's smiling and like serving people.
don't
And
ever
her-
say that again.
I
No.
feel like mom number 2, who is a grammar teacher, would be going on one of her grammar rants right now. Rukia says as she keeps eating.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty eventually manages to get Cat away from the computer by popping down in front of the keyboard and just batting at her hands so much that she's just like, what? Stop! What? You need to eat. Alright.
Mia would have like
right.
made like, if possible, like a vegetarian option just because she doesn't know everybody's diet as well.
You have all the resources. You can make as many things as you want. Yeah.
Cool. So like for people who don't want spaghetti, I guess like egg with meatballs or whatever, like an eggplant parmesan or something like that.
Billy
Ooh.
and Desperon would both be
Mhm.
happy to eat both. So, anything you don't eat, I'm getting, because that's made just specifically for you. Billy waits until after you are done, and then we'll eat whatever's left over of the stuff, along with Desperon.
So much.
I was also gonna say like she would like Mia would also kind of like poke her head out the door to see if Sandy Ravage and other dude are awake.
Yeah, you can see them. They just sat. They just sat like one either side of the gate, like just sat up against it, going, "Yup, that was weird."
She's just gonna kind of like from like the head half out of the door frame, kind of looking at them suspiciously, then look back in the room, look back at the food, and just look at them. You're not gonna want to kill us anymore, or you don't want to kill us anymore, right?
Sandy Ravage looks and goes, no! Why would Sandy Ravage ever want to hurt anybody? Sandy Ravage loves people!
Oh, well, you tried to exterminate me and my friends earlier,
Oh
and we kind of had to
no!
knock you out.
No, I'm so
It was kind of
sorry!
weird.
I didn't want to do
It's
that! Oh no! I'm so
It's
sorry!
It's
What can I do?
Everyone's
Slowly started eating and goes, oh, they were being controlled by the antivirus program. Don't worry, I deleted it.
Go
Oh.
get some foods! Go get
Yeah,
some!
That's what I was gonna say. If you're hungry, I made food.
Sandy Ravage looks at you and goes, Sandy Ravage, we're most obliged to have some of your delicious food. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And Chonky, who, unlike, because so far Chunky hasn't said a single word. It's been very like feral and like visceral, like a and Chunky kind of like very, very slowly and quietly like steps in after everyone else and goes, "I would like some food, please. That would be very nice."
Oh,
Lee just pulls like almost like a giant platter just full of garlic bread for Chunky.
When you present Chunky with food, like Chunky is too big to sit on any chair or table, so he very carefully sits down, like crosses his legs, takes the food, and very delicately, like he rests the plate on his giant hand, and very delicately picks up between two of his little claws, and lifts it up and just nibbles.
With Pinky out?
With Pinky out, of course. Just nibbles. Just nibble, 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 nibble.
So while we're all eating, should we take a break?
that's probably a good idea.
I was literally just about to say, does anybody have anything they wish to say or do right before we take a quick break, as we enjoy this delicious food?
I think I'm good with waiting until after the break.
Alright, cool.
Same.
So, we're going to take a quick 5, maybe 10 minute break for people to go get a drink, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, all that jazz, and until then, we'll be... all that jazz is just so ingrained into my vocabulary now, I can't stop it. So, we'll be back real soon, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back when I find the thing. That's the right thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get something to eat.
Yeah! And this is gonna be...
Sorry, I recently saw someone play Danganronpa, so I was like, go to the lobby so we can all die?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I've never seen or watched it, so I don't know. But let's all go to the lobby.
The lobby has huge, giant machine guns in front of the doors.
I'm gonna throw them over to the break screen. Alright?
That's
We'll be back.
Savage here.
Alright, bye, break
Alright.
time, bye.
Bye.
See you real soon, everybody.
Break time.
And we have returned. So,
Huzzah.
what we were just talking about was basically discussing how this is going to go on. If this was going to be like a full, massive campaign, explore the entire world, but we would probably start figuring out, alright, we can go to every area and we can do lots of things, and there'll be separate little adventures and other stuff, but there is not a definite hard stop, but there is a soft, vague endpoint by mid-December. So we probably aren't going to have time to explore everything in this world. So we are going to not streamline or railroad, because that's not my bag. But we are going to start trying to like focus in towards building the climactic end, or at least a satisfying endpoint. So, what we will spend the rest of the session doing is really just in character, making plans and finding stuff out and deciding what's going on where and where we want to go in the world, etc., etc. / figure out how we're going to topple a gigantic capitalist corporation. So,
Oh, we're gonna get rich.
Did I successfully manage to give Larry Joe back his employees' shenanigans?
okay, so with that, you cannot restore Larry Joe's employee status. That has been scrubbed. Like, just full on, it hasn't been like altered, it hasn't been like paused, like all of his employee information, like all of his access codes, all of his passwords, they have been deleted, removed. He has no additional access to anywhere like that employee only could get to. But as far as your understanding goes, that's not that big of a deal outside of the control center, because you're using computer terminal right here that anybody can use. Anybody would be able to use this. You don't need employee data or information to get in here. So
Was there Was there like a server-wide staff announcement that he was yoinked, or is it just on the down low?
There hasn't been an announcement. There hasn't been an email sent out or anything like that. To be honest, it was probably assumed that when he said I quit, that the firewall would come and just delete him with all of you, and that'd be done. And so until that information is more widely spread, which currently somebody would only be able to find out if they did what you've done, which is go deep into the files to keep track of stuff, which, let's face it, unless you are in the control center doing computer nerd stuff, you're not going to be doing that. So
It'd be impossible to just have as a normal employee, just a regular whatever, that just kind of like might be entry level, so it still has some employee access. If we need extra help on getting certain areas or such.
I mean, anything that wouldn't require like a key card or a password or anything like that, 100%. You know, other employees might know Larry Joe, so be like, "Oh, hey, Larry," and they just wave you in and do stuff like that. Anything which requires, you know, all right, here's my key card, let me punch in the code, he couldn't help you with. But he still has like the benefit of being an employee as far as the social interaction goes, at least up until you reach the command center and yada yada. So you take Larry Joe around the world with you, unless something happens to alert people that he quit, they will just assume he is still an employee.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Cancel the return.
Hmm?
Cool.
Now, as kind of like we are finishing up the meal, does anyone correct Billy and Discord?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Kitty like straight up said, "Don't ever say that again."
Why?
Cat didn't hear. Cat didn't hear, so Cat doesn't know. But Kitty was like, "Don't ever say that again."
Mia's
Ah,
being too polite to.
It would be impolite to say, you're supposed to do it before every meal.
You're also
Yeah, but that's-
Thanks for the meals. Ichidamas.
No, that's not a word. That is not a word.
that is a mispronunciation.
That's not
And-
even a mispronunciation. You're missing entire syllables and you added letters that aren't in there. No.
It's they've said it in every anime.
That's
That is
it.
not what they say.
Maybe we should give him the correct pronunciation?
Sure.
Singwoodmon is just like, oh, I can give the correct pronunciation. And then he just does a little howl.
Billy tries to howl.
Oh god.
No.
I'm not gonna do it on the mic, but that is what Billy is doing.
You just going,
You
ow.
said that's because they've said this is how it's supposed to be properly pronounced.
Oh god.
It's how Singwoodmon said it was properly pronounced.
This really is the blind
Takimasu.
leading the blind, right?
Mia just sort of face palms.
Itadakimasu.
Imasu.
No.
Itadakimasu.
Ikamatsu-sa.
No, just don't say it. You can't say it correctly, so just don't say it.
Well, you can just say thanks for the meal.
In English, yes.
Larry Joe chimes in. Personally, I just say rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub.
I love you, Mary Jo. Keep being you.
I like that answer.
But it's what we're supposed to do in the game, because it's what you do in the anime. You go, Ichidamas!
I mean,
No.
you know, the game is whatever you want it to be, so you don't need to make a direct interpretation of the anime. You don't need to take various things. You know, you can say whatever you want. So I just like saying rub-a-dub-dub because it rhymes, and I get to rub my hands together, and it's like an exciting little ritual I get to do for myself. It's a real fun time. You should try it.
That's
I
just the
I
original. They've done it every season. Okay, you're supposed to do it at every meals.
Billy,
Okay, am I not supposed to be?
you're saying it wrong. And you seem incapable of saying it correctly. Therefore, please refrain from saying it at all, because it deeply upsets some people.
How do you do it? Teach me how.
We've been doing that, and you've been repeating it back incorrectly every single time.
My mother would have given you so many F's in pronunciations. And she is and I don't even know if they're still using the letter grading system anymore. At the University of College Knowledge. Actual name of the place. Actual name of the place. It was changed on April 1st last year, and they kind of just kept it.
I love that.
Yeah, that was out of character. That was the most creative my tired mind can create.
You're fine.
No, I like
It's
it.
amusing. And I like the idea that they changed it on April Fools and then just never changed it back.
Yes.
Never changed it back.
So, getting away from the current topic, where exactly do you happen to know, Larry Joe, where exactly we were supposed to start?
I mean, honestly, that is not my area of expertise or knowledge. And in fact, I wasn't even 100% the beta test was coming in today. I didn't get told much. But as far as my understanding would go, let me just bring up a little map here again. We're doing a lot of flipping between here and the map. And try and give a basic understanding. So, where we are, Green Glens, like, this was supposed to be like the starting area, but deeply under construction. That was, I would say, my fault, but I was not given enough resources, and so I did the best I could. So
really it was more the fault of capitalism yet again.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, they said they wanted it done, and you know, they gave me like, honestly, they told me I had to create this entire fort and had to organize it. I had to set up so much stuff, and they gave me nothing. They literally just said, "All right, here you go, take a partner Digimon." It's a damn lucky thing that it turned into Kinkimon. Like, imagine if I had ended up with, you know, how could I have done anything? You know, if I ended, don't take this the wrong way, Kitty. You're a wonderful Digimon, but if I had ended up with you, for example, I won't be able to do any of the construction work they asked me to do.
That's fair.
So
I'm small.
It's not so much to do with the stature. It's more just like they didn't give me any resources. Them fellas, well, they're not outside no more. Sandy Ravage and Chonky here. I had to make friends with them. I had to talk to them. I beat Sandy Ravage in an arm wrestling match, and I just get Chonky a tickle under the chin, and he was ready to come help out. But I had to source all that myself.
Yeah, so do you know about the neighboring areas, Cursed Crags or the Spaghetto Sands?
Yeah.
Scorched Sands.
Yeah. Well, I can actually give you a quick rundown of all the areas. So obviously, Green Glens. This is meant, in game worlds, Green Glens is meant to be like your starting area, like level 1 or whatever. I don't understand the video game honestly, but this is like your starting area. It's foresty, it's nice, it's calm, it's pleasant. Cursed Crags, that is not so much. I mean, Cursed Crags is basically complete because that is how do they refer to it? It is for mining and farming. I think farming is resource farming, I believe they call it. So the intention was, as players would get later on into the game, they could just head over to Cursed Crags to gather resources. There's not really combat or confrontation there. It's more, you go here and you'll find items and this, that, and the other, and there'd be like rare enemy spawns and things like that. It's very much like you can do that at any level, and so it was that kind of thing. Scorched Sands, that was basically set up as once again also basically complete because it needed no work doing to it. They got the windmill, which I believe was one of the areas they were using for today as part of a beta testing, because Scorched Sands is, I believe they set it up as some kind of battle royale area where like
case your PvP.
Yeah, that was basically the gist of it. So like they'd spawn in the windmill, which would kind of act as like a base of operations. There'd be various vendors and such and stuff, and then you get out on into the sands, and it's very much all right. Just duke it out. So
Okay, so our options are: do we want powers or do we want resources?
I mean,
You're still
honestly,
together.
it's not. This ain't like a jigsaw or like snakes and ladders or something where you can only move along. Mount Infinity is essentially like the hub world. So like you can pop in a Mount Infinity. I mean, to climb up it, you need some employee level access, but it's not like a literal mountain you climb. Miyahara, I believe you already stepped inside. You went inside a tree, but oh wait, you were all in the tree home, weren't you? Mount Infinity is basically the tree home, but bigger. And on the inside, it's kind of set up as the hub world, so you can kind of go in there, and then you can get access to all the different areas.
Neat.
So you can kind of go from there, and so then the other areas, the Still Seas, that was basically entirely about exploration. I believe there was a whole bunch of really interesting quest lines in there, and I believe the long term was you'd be able to get some kind of transportation, so you get access to like a boat and maybe even like some form of quick travel or maybe like a mount or something. I honestly don't remember. I do not understand video games. I'm not a programmer. I'm a construction worker who happens to have a little bit of computer knowledge. So is that. The White Waste, that is another PvP area, except that was much more capture the flag based, with some other interesting aspects to it. That was the other area where they had determined to be used today as part of a beta test. And then the place I highly recommend not going and checking out, because it has not been scaled or approved, will be the Desolate Dark Webs, because that is, what do they call it? I believe they called it post-game materials, where you would do various raids and dungeon crawls against incredibly powerful enemies in hopes of getting really good loot and drops and such.
Shame. Desolate Dark Web sounds like a very pleasant place to be. And sing
So-
slumps.
So theoretically, players could have been dropped in various locations that were already ready to test these various features.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe with a beta testing, since there were probably they really could have gone anywhere except the dark webs, which is that's sealed off. If anyone ended up in the dark webs, I'd be very concerned. But obviously, things did not go right, so I think people kind of just ended up being put everywhere. If you ended up here, which was supposed to be off limits, some poor people might have ended up there, and I really hope nothing bad happened to nobody.
I think you're gonna have a pleasant time.
Cat's just not gonna. Cat's just gonna kind of twitch a little bit, but not say anything at that.
So,
Cost. Like, that's after we gain either power or resources, can we take on that area?
well, yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, if you wanted to actively try and find other players, Kat, you were doing some computer stuff, correct?
Correct.
I believe if you find the player database, in fact, all of you've got your Digivices, right? They finished programming those in, correct?
Yep.
All right. So
Yes.
so what what Larry Joe does is Larry Joe's gonna bring up his Larry Joe's Digivice. What kind of Digivice? What should this look like for a construction lumberjack?
I feel like it'd be like an industrial-looking walkie-talkie of sorts. So
Yes.
that yellow and black,
Yes.
with the little antenna sticking out.
I think
Like-
very much it's like your 02 or 03 tamers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where like it looks as though like you could just pop out a bit and it can do like armor digivolution. Like how they had that antenna in a bit.
Yeah. So he whips this out and he goes, well, and you see he kind of like presses in some inputs, and on his screen, like it basically brings up a player database. It's basically, you know, on an MMO how you can just see what other players are.
Yeah.
It's that. And he goes, yeah, did you not get the full detail on how all that works, or did they really not finish programming Professor Agamon?
He was cute, but he wasn't. He was more ask questions and then I'll give you answers rather than explaining everything.
Probably should have asked him more questions, honestly.
I mean, that kind of makes sense for Magama Cult. You know, it's supposedly like some artificial intelligence of, you know, given the information that people require or request, not the information that they actually need. So,
Potentially makes them less liable.
yeah. Well,
Should have
so
asked the right questions.
pretty much that's the go-to response. You know, if you get hurt, it's your own fault because you didn't ask a question because you didn't know what to ask. You know, it's.
Every question they told me, fill out the form. It'll be in the form. It was not in the freaking form.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing that. So then they told you it's in a different form, and then you go and find that form, and it turns out that's not the right form. Then you get sent to a different desk, and they tell you it was back at the first desk, and then you.
Oh, I know, I did that.
Yeah.
And then I just got fed up and just signed the freaking thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. But yeah, you can check where other players are. You can find other names and such. You probably ought to find where most people are located doing that.
Yeah, I guess Mia will try to like emulate what he did with her own to try to bring it up.
Yeah. So you do that, and you know there's like 90 odd other names that come up. Notice that you cannot find Larry Joe like at all. Larry Joe does not exist according to this because he is not a player. You look, it definitely seems like most people are either in the White Wastes or the Scorched Sands. There's very few in Cursed Crags. There's like maybe 4 or 5. Still Seas, very minimal as well. There's a few more, so maybe like a dozen. There's absolutely nobody in the Desolate Darkwebs. Nobody at all.
Desolate Darklands gets no love.
Okay,
Well,
so
we've
So
been here
unless we
anyway.
have plans to go to Desolate Dark Webs, 'cause then I can see us going to Cursed Crags first. But unless we're going that way, I think we should go to the Scorched Sands, because that's the PvP area, so that's where the people are most likely to be.
Well, it shows people in White Wastes and Scorched Sand, so kind of like an equal amount of people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Loki is currently sitting in my mother's bill basket, and she just came back from like checking the mail, and she just like looked at him and then dropped a bunch of envelopes on top of him, and he's just existing. He's just chilling. He's like, well, I guess these are on me now.
This
That's
is my
great.
Yes. So, are we going to Scorched Sands then?
Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to get to White Wastes from where we are unless there was a quick travel feature.
Well,
Let me check if there is a quick travel feature.
Well, it sounds like if by going through the Scorched Sands that we might go near the Dills sees where the quick movement is. So we could just like earn to get our way to the end box after we deal with the Sword Sands.
So, alright. Maybe I didn't do a fantastic job of explaining this. Literally, right? You get everywhere by going to Mount Infinity. You know, you head there, and it is a hub world. So you kind of like step inside, and there's like gateways, and you can go to every other place.
Oh. Well, I guess the question, out of character, what was the White Waste supposed to be more?
White Waste
Capture the
is
flag.
like capture a flag PvP. So it's like a big empty wasteland with like a few
Objective.
small, like very small areas, but it's mostly like it's like claiming territory. So like, if you go there, it's like, all right, this is my land, and I'm going to claim it, and we will do this stuff, and we will make it prosper. It's kind of like a mixture of capture a flag and tower defense.
Oh.
'Cause
Okay, so basically our options are either straight PvP or like capture the flag PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of
Or
character, I would
resource
prefer.
mining or exploration.
Yeah, I'm more for the Scored Sand because that's the more direct. Like, that's how we can do it. Because I feel like we will gain the power to fight the actual boss that we need to at a certain time.
I mean, I
from
feel
a
like either.
gameplay.
Well, I mean, either seems like we could.
Mhm.
I feel like the White Wastes is more likely to find friendly players because it's not straight PvP.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Like White
So they
Waste.
could have
We
like
don't
groups.
pose a threat to their base.
So, Scorched Sands is very like individual. So, like if you went there, you would probably find spatchings of individuals. If you found anybody, it'd be because they have formed a team and they're like, all right, we're working together here. Whereas White Waste is very team focused because it is capture a flag, build a base, surround, support.
Yeah, honestly,
So-
the White Waste seem a little bit more appealing to me.
Yeah,
Just in learning the different types of things.
yeah. But again, this is more because the fact that like my personal experience has been in any team versus team games, there is more griefing than the straight PvP. Like that's where at least my bias here is coming from. So that's why like I'm going
What
towards
games have you been playing?
Yeah, what do you mean by griefing? Sorry? I'm not super into MMOs.
It's basically. Sorry, you can
trolling.
explain it.
Okay, so like trolling. So, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. I guess that
I think
kind
that's
of.
just the people you end up playing with.
Yeah.
I've run into more trolls in one-on-one PvP than in teams.
Same.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's very much about how like, okay, you're playing ranked matches. You know, you're playing League of Legends, or you're playing an actual game that isn't full of toxic assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the thing is with the game is like PvP. He is like to kind of like go around the system to do well, and is to work as a team, and you can essentially working as a team beat people individually and get stronger quicker than where PvP is a team. Like you would get more on it if you individual do well as your team is doing well. So you might be grieved to stop you from helping the team so they can help the team and get the experience.
I'm also trying to think of how some of our characters are, because especially Kat and Mia both are like not fight first.
Mhm.
yeah, so we do
And-
not want to go to the Sands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
from a character standpoint.
If like
hey Larry
okay,
Joe.
so if the majority of us are for going towards the white area, Billy would agree.
to Larry Joe.
Yeah. Well, what can I help you with?
Do you have any like other like human friends
Oh.
who are in right now?
I know a few people here and there. Yeah. Would that help shape your decision? Like maybe try and get some more people up on board and all that stuff?
Well, do you know anyone who like works at the Mount Infinity place? She said it's hard to get into.
Well, on the upper floors, not so much. I do believe. Suppose we could find Dr. Ann. She probably has a way around. She's pretty respected. She knows what's up.
Doctor Who?
Dr. Ann.
Sorry, Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Dr. M.
Ann. For, nope.
And as in Nancy.
For nope.
Okay, so it sounds like our plans is...
Nope.
So our plans is we go to Mountain Fandy, find this Miss N, and then we'll go... Okay, Dr. N. And then we go to either, like, the Whitewash Wastes or the Desolate Dark Wills after.
Well, no, not Desolate
We're
Dark
not
Web.
going to the dark webs. Heck to the no.
But it's
Okay.
I prefer life, thanks.
Yeah, but life is not really as much of a challenge if there's not the possibility of death.
Yeah.
Billy? I'm vehemently gonna have to disagree with you there.
Yeah, no.
Like, you live your life, but life to me is just, doing the things that make you happy, being around the people that you care about, and
The dark webs were described as a post-game area, so like
That's
max
why I said
level people.
after. Like, so
After we meet Dr. N and
and the
our
White Waste, because you guys we'll go then to the White Waste
Okay.
after, and then final.
I think we're on different wavelengths a little bit.
we are on very different.
My
levels.
bad.
Anyway. We're gonna go to the mountain, but in the morning, because I just spent a lot of energy and it feels really weird to spontaneously heal, so I'm going to sleep.
Rukia's just like, yeah! Actually, no, I'm probably gonna just chill a bit, actually.
I am
Just
tired. I had a panic attack today.
Oh,
Can you hack the sleep out of me so I don't have to sleep?
Wait, what?
No.
I just love Kat. Like the image of Billy, like, can you make it so I don't have to sleep? Kat just like does a slow double blink, like that's not how that works.
No. That's not how that works. No,
Rukia
I can like reallocate your stats and like set your durability back up, but I can't do anything about needing sleep.
Okay.
These are still bodies. Oh yeah,
Well,
fun
now
fact.
I know.
Wait, fun fact,
fact. These are bodies. We are bodies. We are in bodies.
what? Wait, what?
Yes?
It's it's a virtual
We are not
game.
controlling avatars. We are in bodies.
Yeah, because if you die in a game, you die in real life.
I mean, if your data gets too corrupted, it can't be transferred back to your flesh and blood body, yeah.
Are you talking like Inception sort of levels? Is that what you're implying here?
I don't know what that is.
It's a good movie. You should see it. It's sort of
Okay.
like a traveling.
So sleep.
They turned us into data. Like, we have full out body objects with like data values for individual like nerves and muscles and bones and things.
Yeah.
Currently, the only thing I can edit is durability, which means if I really wanted to, I could break all the bones in your body, but I'm not gonna do that.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Please don't do that.
I'm not gonna do that. It was an example.
Oh,
Okay.
Would you like me to break all the bones in your body, Billy?
that sounds like fun.
So wait, hold up.
I should
Getting
probably figure
back.
out how to do that without actually depleting your total wound boxes, so you could have broken bones but not die.
Cat?
Getting back,
Cat?
getting
Yes.
back.
Sorry, I got
Um,
sidetracked.
You
I
said,
kind of developing God complex there.
you said if we die in the game, we could die in real life.
If you die in this digital world, there is a possibility that your data will just be deleted and therefore cannot be re-uploaded into your body, and therefore you will cease to exist. It's not quite the same as dying, but it's ceasing to exist.
That's,
Okay, night night.
Singletmon just sort of hits his head like, but you guys will just become your Digitamas again, right? But that
Desperate
doesn't-
Mon is going,
No,
yeah.
I don't know if we have Digitamas, and I don't quite want to find out personally.
And how were you born if you didn't come from Digitamas? And Rukia
Tell you
just
what,
gets
you're
not
older.
as many
Yep,
people
yep.
are
Tell you when you're
taking
older.
seriously the ceasing to exist part.
Yeah.
Billy goes
Uh,
into bed and just has gone to try to fall asleep.
I don't actually know how many people know about the ceasing to exist part, because the waivers we signed did cover death, but
that could have been just sort of a based off of just
they tried
playing
to wave it off as like a thing that wasn't likely to happen. So I don't know, and they didn't tell us the direct connection, so I'm not sure how many people know about this.
Desperamon,
That's
Desperamon
an
to
idea.
Desperamon
Sorry,
to the sword
Cat's gonna
samurai
like
goes.
climb out of bed and go back to the computer and try and get back into the player directory and see if she can connect to all of the players' digivices.
Okay.
Desperamon says to the sword Digimon, you want me to walk you back to the trees?
Where I'm on, I'll be like, no, I can navigate that thing. You should probably stay here. Protect your friends. Probably look after the small, quiet one. I think she is slowly coming to terms with the concept that she could die. I don't think she is particularly comfortable with that idea.
Desperamon shrugs.
I'm
Also,
just tapping my fingers on my keyboard to make keyboard noises.
Also, can I just emphasize how much I know it wasn't intentional, but I love so much that Kay that entire time was like, hey guys! And we kept talking over her. It's like, guys!
Oh no, that was the intent. She's just like, y'all are all down playing this.
Meanwhile,
Ceasing to exist equals death.
Singletmon is just like, but you just become egg again. What you mean? I do
And-
not understand.
Yeah, and Billy does not care and is asleep in a bed.
Okay, so,
Billy assumed this from the beginning.
yeah. Billy's like, this is real. And I can do
So
it.
yeah, do you want me to roll for like connecting into like the Digivice system?
Okay, so, I think what you'd be trying to do is, obviously, you bring back up a player directory and you're going to try and get into that again and see if you can connect with people.
Basically, I'm trying to drop one of those mass texts.
And the first thing, because you can get into play directory, you don't need to roll for that because you already know how to do that. What you discover is the messaging system only works with people you have physically interacted with. Like, you need to come within a certain distance of them. Like, so for example, you can send messages to all of your friends, and you could send messages to Larry Joe, but they only get registered in each other's digivices through that. Through a computer network, through a computer terminal, you do not have admin you do not have admin authority. You can do a lot of stuff just through hacker knowledge, but being able to hack in and essentially like send mass information out there. You could do it, but it would immediately give away that someone's hacked into the system. Because that is a physical, like, someone was just here, they sent a message that exists, and we know who did it, and we know where it was sent from, and we can find them.
So that could be an issue, especially if we're going to be staying here for the night. I mean, we could... Is it possible to, like, just give us the ability to maybe message each other, even if we're, oh no, for
Is it possible
dramatic
for
sake
me
apart?
to register my Digivice or even possibly, to be less suspicious, Larry Joe's Digivice with all of the players?
Like all the players, do you mean just like all the beta testers, like all?
All the beta testers, yes.
My cat just disconnected me because he's.
Almost all of our pets have interrupted the game somehow.
So, I am going. Like, theoretically, I suppose yes, it could be possible, because obviously Larry Joe is. But actually, no, because that goes against what I said about Larry Joe having like all his employee information scrubbed. Yeah, no, the Digivice is like they'll only register once they like come into contact with one another. So like.
No,
So-
but I'm assuming there's a list somewhere of, like, each Digivice has a list of other users that it is registered with.
Mm-hmm.
So can I, like, copy all of the names of all of the players, all the beta testers, and then just paste them into Larry Joe's register list?
Like you could get all the names, yes, but it would not have the actual like messaging facility.
Interesting. So even though they would be in his registration list, he still can't send them messages?
Yeah, it's very much like having to accept a friend request. Like you can see all the people and you can like know their names, but until they accept a friend request, as in come within a certain vicinity of each other and agree to send messages, you can't message them.
Okay.
Not without like admin level control.
So Kat's gonna like... She's gonna set it up so that it'll send an announcement to all of the Digivices, but she's going to time it so that it's timed for tomorrow afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
so that they will already have left at that point.
Smart.
Smart.
So she's going to have that, like, that process, and it'll activate
Yeah.
the next day at noon. And then she's gonna be like, alright, everybody, we've got to be out of here by noon, which I think will be fine. I'm going to bed for real this time. And
You
she's just gonna flop into a bed and cover her head and be like, nope, night, sleep time. I'm not allowing myself to think anymore.
Okay.
Out.
So,
Do Digimon require sleep as well?
I would assume so. They sleep
yeah.
in most of the animes.
They are technically biological, so yes, they would require basic. Well, they eat, they sleep, they poop. So
Yeah.
yes, they would require sleep.
Okay, then right beforehand, someone probably might notice Desperamon digivolve back into Abertmon and just kind of like fold into the shadows. And the shadow of Abertmon and lines up with the shadow of Billy.
Alright. How is everyone else sleeping? Because obviously there's enough beds for everyone. You can all get set up. Does anybody else digivolve and return to the rookie form, or are other people sticking in champion?
Kitty's gonna stick in champion just because he prefers being a cat to a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And he's gonna curl up and do the cuddles.
Good.
I'm thinking that as Rukia is just preparing to go sleep for the night, Sanglupmon suddenly just, as any dogs do, get zoomies, and is just like running around like the outer rim of the base.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's running, he's just thinking like, do I want to be a wolf or do I want to pose both thumbs? I want to be a wolf. And he just keeps doing zoomies for a while. And eventually somebody might just see him passed out near the doorway.
I like the idea that that's where it is, and then like Chonky is just like big head's falling asleep next to them, just like almost like petting.
Yeah.
Aw.
Aw.
And Miyahara, how are you handling everything?
Mia's kind of just laying down staring at the ceiling until she finally passes out. That's kind of what's going on right now.
All she can hear is just multiple footsteps of Sanglupmon.
Zoomies.
Yeah, so she's just kind of staring at the ceiling, like trying to process the new information, taking it a little bit harder than others, clearly. And eventually, like, Ipmon would hesitate at first to digivolve, to go back into rookie form, but like upon kind of realizing that Mia is having a hard time, will eventually just sort of go back into rookie form and just kind of snuggle up until she finally passes out.
Okay.
Speaking of
Aw.
doggos and zoomies, I'm gonna redeem that.
The dogs are not currently in the room.
Aww.
If actually they won't be back in the room by the time we wrap up. We wrap up in like 10 minutes or so. So next stream, you get a doggo right at the start of it.
Yay!
Doggo. I saved up 5,000 points for a dog.
So yes, that will happen. Start next stream. The doggo will be there for you. I promise. And if I forget, remind me. Shout at me.
I will remind you.
Okay. So you all sleep. You get a good. Well, I don't know if you get a good sleep or bad sleep, an indifferent sleep, because stuff is happening for all of you. I'm just gonna like speed through a little bit to get us set up for next time.
Mhm.
You wake up. You probably all feeling a variety of different things. Unless anybody has like a specific thing they want to do in the morning, just you'll make breakfast. Larry Joe will. You know what? Larry Joe cooks breakfast. Larry Joe cooks an amazing breakfast. Bacon, pancakes, maple syrup. It's amazing.
The only thing like I want to add to is like that Billy and Ebertmon wake up before everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like patrol the area looking for any clues or anything if something's been through the night, and probably when they come back is the time like Larry Joe is on their crutches while they're making like pancakes.
No crutches.
Larry Joe's
Yeah.
absolutely
No,
fine.
Larry Go got healed.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
Anyway,
will
sit
heal.
tight making crutches then.
Well, you didn't know that you'd be able to fix it, so like,
Yeah.
Larry Joe's going to keep them crutches, and he's going to use them for something. I'm not sure what just yet, but he's got them. So Larry Joe makes your breakfast. It's a really nice breakfast. It's very well cooked. It's beautiful. It's like loving and homemade. Like it's like what you imagine a good dad makes for breakfast on like a Sunday morning or something. It's like
Sorry, my dad once made beer pancakes.
What?
I mean, yeah,
But
Good.
That's a thing?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, but he used like the worst type of beer.
Oh,
Let me
no.
tell you,
It was
it could be
disgusting.
worse. Mountain Dew pancakes exists. It could be worse.
Oh God.
Gummy bear pancakes. Anyway,
Okay,
so none
yeah.
of those things.
No, like these are like good
pancakes.
solid, like
Fluffy.
yeah, they're fluffy. There's probably a little bit too much maple syrup for what should be considered reasonable or healthy, but it's kind of like no, Dad's making breakfast today. We can have extra maple syrup because Dad's making breakfast. Yeah. It's very wholesome. It's very sweet, and as breakfast finishes, as you all finish up breakfast, Larry Joe goes over to see his egg, and
Kitty tries to steal as many pieces of bacon as is allowed.
I like
When
that.
I think kind of like when you go to steal the bacon, you notice like there's a sad look on Billy's face on the bacon before you steal it.
Wait, did you
What,
make
like
a sad bacon face on your pancake?
No, it's one of those things. It's that the bacon themselves make Billy sad, and Kitty might notice. That's all.
Kitty's like, do you want your bacon back?
No. I haven't seen bacons in a good long while. It makes
Oh.
me sad.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't want it, I'm gonna eat it.
Okay.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, saying what Ron comes over like, hey, I heard the bacon makes you sad. And he does that thing of like his ears go back, he has these big ol' eyes, and it's just like, can I have?
Yeah, and it's just going, yes. Like,
What happened?
like there's like again, any bacon that Billy had, they are all given away freely.
Saying Whipmon gladly enjoys the bacon.
And I am, in fact, basing this off of the fact that my cat tries to steal my bacon. Constantly.
Alright. Miyahara, how's breakfast going for you?
I am eating. Mia in this instance would probably be real quiet, because again, and like when it comes to the whole waking up before anyone else, I feel like Mia probably didn't get a lot of sleep because of the information learned.
Mm-hmm.
So probably was awake when Billy was off to do his thing, but she didn't really like care to, that like I'm just gonna lie in bed and pretend because whatever thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Alright.
Did Discord just?
Did Discord just do a thing?
Discord do? Oh no. Okay.
So did y'all hear what I said?
Yeah. Yeah, got it. So, didn't really sleep, just kind of laid there, pretended to sleep. Like,
Well,
alright,
Sleep some, but just not a very long time.
Yeah.
okay.
The minimum amount.
So, breakfast finishes. The next notable thing I think that would happen is Larry Joe's egg. As Larry Joe is cleaning up and he's gonna go. The egg kind of glows and hatches, and just this tiny little blob, this little blob. It has like it's just a little blob with a little face, and it's got a little pacifier in its mouth. It goes, it's a little baby. And Larry Joe looks at this little baby and goes, "I love you," and opens up like a shirt pocket and just pops it inside and goes, "Here we go. I'm gonna look after you. I'm gonna care for you. And you're gonna come back big and strong. That's my boy."
So good.
So that's that. And I think with that'll be everything you need to do before you head off. Cat,
That's me.
is there anything, because you don't know the next time you're going to get access to a computer terminal,
Mm-hmm.
is there any information you're going to like grab or like download or get a hold of before heading out?
If I can, so like the Digivices have the ability to track where all the other players are.
Right.
I mean, in the vaguest possible sense, it's like they can tell you what area they are in. It's not like GPS. You can't bring up a map and have like blinking dots, but you know people are in a certain area.
Okay. In terms of information, I mean, if I can have copies of all of the like documents detailing like the fact that the bodies our bodies have been digitized, and like that we are like the vague explanations that we didn't even get, sort of things, because that would be good, I think, just to have on hand in case I needed it for something. Other than that, in terms of information to download, I don't think there's anything else she'd want. She'd double check that her thing is queued up to go off at noon.
Mm-hmm.
She'd double check that everyone is at full health, and there are no like status effects attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is about it. And she'll also double check the status of Larry Joe's partner to make sure that it's progressing properly.
Yeah. Okay, so Larry Joe's partner, which is currently I think it's a Pabumon I'm going for off the top of my head. It's basically just a cute little blob that has like a little pacifier. It's adorable as hell.
Specifically, it's yellow.
Yeah, it's like a yellowish greeny color, I think, off the top of my head. It's just what my mind always thinks of when I think of baby Digimon, because it's adorable. So yeah, you look at that, seems absolutely fine. Nothing seems off there at all, as far as you can currently tell. So
Awesome.
that's good. Your message that is programmed, that is due to be sent out in a couple of hours from now, by which time you will be long gone. Whilst going to find like the basic information on the digitized stuff, just like the processes in general, I think if you're going to take a little bit longer looking through stuff specific, I know you spent a lot of time, but you're also like coding stuff, so, and also I didn't think to mention it because I'm not exactly planned.
You're fine. You're fine.
I think one thing which would probably stand out a little bit is like close to where all the player files are, there is like a list, and it's like information on the players, and not like the regular name, age, da. There's like more so than just the players. Is like, I mean, it's a huge document, and you can see there's thousands of names, if not like tens of thousands. Enough people that you would assume would fill a convention center. And
We had information on everyone at the convention center.
yeah, and doing a quick scan through, I assume the first thing you do is you go find your own name, and you notice it has been highlighted, as has your friends' names. And you assume that all the highlighted names, if you match them, they are also the people who have been beta tested. And if you were to click into it and research a little bit further, there is a specific reason why each person has been selected. And delving into that, it is revealed that according to maths and basic research, each person who has been selected to be a beta tester was specifically selected because should the worst possible scenario happen, Agami Corp has designated the loss of these lives, the loss of these people, to have the smallest amount of impact or repercussion.
Way to call me out, Agami!
Wow, even with some of us being like content creators and stuff. Wow.
The thing is like one thing like you might notice on that too is that Billy's, it says, has no parentals attachment.
Well, that's it. It's like it's not literally like, oh, if they're gone, it won't matter. It's like these are the easiest they can clean up. So, for example, like a content creator, they can go, well, we can get access and we can make it look like she just closed herself down and didn't want to do online anymore. Didn't have parents, that's fine, there's no one to message. and there'll be like specific reasonings for each person. They'll like maybe have a little information bracket there. Whether or not Kat chooses to delve into and see what those reasons are for each individual, or at least her friends, that is entirely up to her. And if she wants to look into that right now, or she can just download it to look at it later.
She's just gonna download the. She's just gonna download it. She doesn't want to waste any time spent getting away from here, looking into that and also because she finds it very creepy. And she doesn't want to like look into it like for like her friends and stuff because it feels like a breach of privacy. So like she's downloading it, and she will like eventually potentially like while they're moving like offer her Digivice over to Rukia and over to Miyahara and be like, hey, if you want to see real quick, I found why we were picked. And then just and pass that over to them. Maybe not Miyahara right off the bat, because Miyahara's not doing so hot. But she would offer it to Rukia with the explanation that it's not pretty, but I thought you might want to know.
Rukia would definitely check that out. And if Bardic wants to just send me info or just reveal it now, I don't know.
Yeah. I will keep those justifications hidden for now, because I think that opens ourselves up to some really good roleplay stuff in the future. But that is there. It's basically like, hey, excuse for tragic backstories to come out, etc., etc. And I think on that ominous note, slash it's really just saying, hey, capitalism bad. Look at how terrible this is.
Here's the thing for the thing for Kat is less tragic backstory and more she has numerous health problems, including heart problems, and so they figured they could explain it away as she had an attack while attached and we didn't reach it in time, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
Capitalism bad and justifies things horribly. That's the basic gist of it.
I think it's we can come up with this stuff later.
Yeah.
For people who want to reveal things, since we are on time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just so we can leave with on a more positive note, like Billy had spent with her new samurai sword with a whetstone, like sharpen it before, put it in its teeth and going, "Wells, we off on to ready for a new adventure?"
Music plays.
Happy music
and
plays.
Credits.
Everyone else is just like,
Alright, so with that, we're going to wrap up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I have been the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. I'll have this edited and uploaded probably Monday, because I seem to be sticking to that schedule, and I'm very happy about it. Players, first of all, thank you for doing today really well. I know there was a lot of talking and a lot of figuring stuff out, but I think we handled it pretty damn well. If you could be so kind as to very quickly just say who you are, what you do on the internet, and then we can wrap it up. So, quickfire, ATB, who are you?
Hi. I'm a tired boy. I have ideas in my head for things and such that I'll talk to Bardic later. I played Rukia. I was probably very much thinking, what in the actual fuck? Meanwhile, Sanglupmon is just not fully understanding death, and also has decided to stay as Doggo because being Doggo is a lot of fun. You can find me all over the place. In streams, you can find me tomorrow on Undead Case channel for Curse of Strahd, where I play as Zatari, the ASMR bard. And that's great. I don't know if she is a blessing to be around. I'll say that though, and if people tell me otherwise, then I'll accept it. I also on Bardic's channel again this Sunday. Final Fantasy D6, Rebels of Spyra, based off of Final Fantasy X. Play Lilith, the Albed Dark Knight. She is my edgy darling OC who really misses her spouse. All of my OCs are pleasures to be around, except for a few OCs. Those OCs are in bad villain jail.
And
Yeah.
all right, Kay, who are you, and what are you doing on the internet?
Hi, I'm Kay, aka Undead Kay. You can find me on the internet. I mean, I have a Facebook page for Undead K internet stuff if people do that thing. But typically, I primarily post to my Twitter, which is backwards K_undead. I do also have a Twitch channel, which is just Undead K, is the hyperlink. Things are a little up in the air. I'm trying to figure out what kind of schedule I want to make going forward and things to do. And yeah, but one thing that has been staying consistent is my bi-weekly Curse of Strahd game. That will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. Around 6 p.m. Central. It's I think the closest we've actually ever started was 6:05. Yeah, but progress,
that.
baby steps. So yeah, we're getting there, and we will be playing tomorrow and probably the next week following, because normal schedule would be Thanksgiving, and yeah, that's a thing. But
I
yeah,
would
definitely, definitely check that out and hang out with us. We have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of scary stuff and a lot of laughs. So yeah, that's me.
Alrighty, next up we have Michael. Michael, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
Hello there, I'm Michael Wayne. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch under that handle. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. You can find me on Raven's channel, RAVVYN, for Hunters of Calamity, where I have failed to enamor someone in learning a new technique, and now has the black mascara and going into the emo dark phase where might be corrupted. You can catch that Tuesdays or on the YouTube, the Black Feathered Guild, for past episodes. Mostly I'm just about looking for a game to play, and maybe one day I'll play with you. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm rooting for you.
And then finally we have Vin. Vin, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
Surprised. I thought it was that you're pulling for us. Anyways, hi, my name is Kat. I am at Vindifly on most things on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I also stream on my own Twitch channel, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. For reference, it is currently 5:36. And I just kind of do whatever. Like, I used to do a lot of Twitch things, but I've been trying to do other things because Twitch things is dying. So,
Yeah, which is sad.
it is very sad. Anyway, I chill. Come hang out. Have a good time.
Alrighty, and with that, everybody, thanks very much, and until next time, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye!